So I'm at a major accomplishment point at this thing. So the rear axle is mounted. Right now it's just mounted with this piece of rod in here as a strut. This would normally be a shock absorber. I don't have one currently, so I just put this rod in here just to kind of hold the triangles. And also gives me an idea of how big a shock absorber I need to go in here to make everything work well. So far, I think everything is going well. The mounts are on for the swing arm. So the swing arm pivots now on here. I haven't welded this yet because you never know when you have to take something apart. And again, for that same reason, these are only kind of spot welded. When I'm done, these will be welded solid, and there'll be some welds and supports in here. But as you can see, the chain's on. It's a bit tight right now. I'm just trying different things with how tight the chain's going to be. There was a little bit of rubbing here going on earlier, so I removed some metal and adjusted some chains, and I'm still playing with that. But right now, the chain or the rear axle does get driven by the motor. I'm going to hook it up here in a second. I have a battery to run this with. But I've solved all the problems. I fixed all the bolts, and that's all back together again. Moved everything around. This is only a 54 gear pulley or sprocket. It's the only one I could get. The 60s were sold out. I'm going to try 54, and if it's not right, then we'll worry about it then. But I wanted to get it together, and so I got what I got. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook this to a battery and show you how fast it spins just on 12 volts. Don't forget this. The plan is to run this at 48, and I'm going to show you what it's like on 12. We don't have a tachometer here to actually measure it, but I'll get, you can see how fast it's going to run. So I'm going to hook this. I have some booster cables on the back of this motor. I'm going to hook that to a battery down here on the floor. When you're doing this kind of thing, always put safety glasses on. It's just, there's going to be a spark here. There's going to be a large current draw when I first hook this up. And I'm dealing with a battery. Always put safety glasses on. So I'm going to hook this up. And that's the speed it runs. I'm sorry about the noise. I'll talk in a second. But that's the speed it runs at 12 volts. It has a fair bit of torque. I can jam this board in here. See, that's what I meant by as you put load on it, it's going to slow down. I'm not sure how much load it wants before it slows down. Like when we get it out there on the road, we'll find that out. Let me get rid of the noise. Okay, so a lot of that noise you're hearing is the chain's too tight. The roller chains have a tendency to kind of track chains for a bulldozer, that same thing. As they roll over here and they're too tight, they make some noise. So I'm going to back that off a little bit. I was just trying something to see if it would need a difference. The motor's not bolted solid yet. I'm still trying the tipping thing. I have to figure out the exact spot for it. I think where it is good. I have to drill the holes and bolt it down. Then take it all apart and finish welding in here. Right now everything's just tacked. But now that I know it's going to work, I'm going to put the front end on and get it down on the ground. And maybe power it and see how much torque it's got. So anyway, I think I'm gonna kind of get cleaned up around here, and then I'm going to start putting the front end together and make this thing look like a vehicle.